Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained beta with the TheProfesserf. All right, it's time for our Monday Mythic meta for the Ranked Weekend event that ran on May 7th, 8th, and 9th. Let's go ahead and take a look at our results. All right, so here's our top 20. And again, congratulations to Mirage for making it 3 weekends in a row with a perfect run, 25 out of 25. At this point, there's no more need to guess on what kind of deck was used. I think we all know what deck is the top one. This is an amazing achievement, 3 weekends in a row of 25 out of 25. Let's see if we can go this coming weekend and make it a nice 100-0. All right, we have 3 other players with 23 wins. We did not have any players this week with 24 wins. And we have several players at 22 wins. So more than the top 10. So what that means is these results are unofficial. So these names might shift around and place number 5 all the way to 10 is still up in the air. So we'll wait till the official announcement to see who gets the extra prizes for finishing in the top 10. Again, we have several players with 20 wins, 21 wins. So lots of people doing very well. All right, in our top 20, we can see that the 3 gods that are still the most popular is Magic, Nature, and Death. We have 7 players in the top 20 that use Magic. We have 6 players in the top 20 that played Nature. And we have 3 players that played Death. We have 2 players that played Light and 1 player each that played War and Deception. In our top 10, Magic took 5 places again. Magic took first, third, fourth, fifth, and 10th place. Light took second place and sixth place. So the 2 light players both finished in the top 10. Nature took 7th place. Death took 8th place. And War took 9th place. So every god had a representative in the top 10 except for Deception, which was in the top 20. All right, so again, 3 weekends in a row where the top Magic deck got 25 wins. The best light deck got 23 wins. And we have several decks with 22 wins here. We have Nature, War, and Death. And then the best Deception deck finished with 21 wins. So we can see that there are many different kinds of decks and gods that can achieve 20 or more wins. So beyond the top 20, we know that there are many different decks that players can use to get 19 or 20 wins. All right, looking close at our top decks. Here's the 25-0 Control Ramp Magic deck. We have our early game kit with the Bolts, Pyramid Warden, Axewoman. We have Mana Ramp, Sip of Elixir, Guardian of the Gates, Mana Toad. We have the removals with Faraday Cage, Archimedes Mirror, Astric Implosion. And we have strong late game with Demogorgon, Helion Elite, Cersei, Frey, and Avatar of Magic. So not much different from previous versions of Ramp Magic. At this point, having the early removals and ramp just makes for a strong shell. And a lot of the other cards are there just to benefit from all the ramp and removals. I have a couple of videos where I interviewed the first 25-0 player, ISBN, who also ran a Control Ramp Magic. We go into details about his thought process and a step-by-step guide on how to play the Ramp Magic deck. And also just recently, Mirage from TST did a stream where he went through step-by-step his deck and several matches where he talked through all his moves and thought process. So if you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend watching this stream, which is now a recording on YouTube on Team Stream Team's YouTube channel. It's definitely a good way to hear from Mirage directly on how to pilot the Control Ramp Magic deck. All right, our best light deck was a mid-range version. It says Zoo just because it carries some similarities on the early game, but really this one is mid-range. As you can see, it runs the heal god power. It has several 6-cost creatures and also a 7-cost creature. And you have your Helios Battlesworn, which isn't usually seen in the Zoo version. So this deck takes advantage of Light's early game. You have your one of the best 2-drops in the game with Olympian Guard. You have your usual staples, Skeleton Heavy and Vanguard Axewoman. You have Shield Bearer. You have your strong light spells with Light's Levy and Imperious Might. Some things we don't usually see is the battlement Luminary, which adds health to your creatures to allow for survival and trading. Lysander's Spear, which gives buffs to your creatures. And with so many light cards, this legendary relic has the potential to earn many durabilities and give out its ability multiple times. You have Bardalis, a legendary that gains strength and health based on the board condition. And an interesting card, Plucked from Faith. This is a welcome set card where it pulls a creature from both players' voids and adds it to your hand, so you have additional options. And we see the usual light legendaries of Isadora and Asterius, and also joined by Lysander. Our best nature deck finished with 22 wins. This one's an aggro version. Again, similar to light, nature has a strong early game. You have Marshwalkers, Chiron, Shieldbearer. Nature has one of the best 2-mana creatures and cards. You have Underbrush Boar, Jaguar, the Blade, Canopy, Vanguard Axewoman. And then you just curve out to really great stats like Aggrodor Protector, Overgrown Rhino, Avatar of Nature. And one distinction this nature deck has that others don't is the Gloam Druid. This is a Genesis card, but it gives your confused creatures +2 strength for 2 mana. So Animal Bond plus all these other confused creatures, they all get the benefit of a +2 strength to allow for value trades and also pushing additional damage. And this deck also runs Firewind later on to add additional pressure on your opponent. Our best death deck finished with 22 wins. This one's the Zoo Soulburn version. You have strong early game with the Chicken, Pyramid Warden. You have control cards like Ragnarok, Blight Bomb. You have some great late game removal with Amazon Heart Eater and Neferu. So this deck can play out aggressive early on with the Expecting Chicken, Pyramid Warden, Demonic Offering, which summons 2 random anims. Or if it needs to play control, it has great board clears with Ragnarok, Blight Bomb, and Neferu. The top war deck finished with 22 wins. This one's an Enrage aggro version. We have strong early game with the Pyramid Warden, Trojan Golem, Respected Jarl, Bladecasters. You have a strong relic with Sights of the Harvest at 4 attack and 2 durability. This deck also runs an Olympian theme. As you can see, there's a lot of Olympian cards here. So a lot of the Olympian theme complements Hephaestus, which, depending on the number of Olympians in your void, can grant your god a relic that's automatically equipped. You could get a weapon that has Blitz and Heal, a weapon with Deadly, the Gladius, which has Blitz and randomly buffs one of your creatures, and another Blitz weapon with Flank. Our best deception deck finished with 21 wins, and this one's a control deception. For control deception, you're looking to use your toolkit of controlling the board and removing early threats. You have Mugging, Sleep Dart, Hunting Traps, and you transition to the mid game where you use your control cards to take care of wide boards. You have Exercise, Elixir of the Snake, and Rapture Dance, and a Toast to Peace. You have some hand disruption with Cutthroat Insight, and then you have your strong late game with Demogorgons, Echophon, and Anti-Magic Expert. If the board is non-threatening, you could run Flip to gain some additional resource from your opponent's god domain. All right, taking a look at the overall meta, we can see that Death and Nature are the 2 gods with positive win rates. Death is now the 2nd most popular played god after Nature. The reason for Death's rise, it has a strong performance versus Nature and Magic. Nature remains popular at 37% and has decent win rates over the other 3 gods and close to a 50-50 versus Magic. Magic has taken a little bit of a hit, but in the hands of a skilled player and someone with access to experience and the cards, we can see that magic can dominate at the top levels. It also has positive win rates overall versus several of the other gods. Although the least represented at 8.9, light can boast of having positive win rates over death and magic. The only problem with that is that it has a low win rate versus nature, similar to deception. All right, so here's our top 20 players again. Congratulations on a great performance, and good luck on your packs when we receive the next expansion set.